Hey everyone! So this is going to be an all signs reading for Beltane messages. We're going to start with Taurus and go to Aries. Beltane is a Celtic celebration for anyone who does not know. It gives me an excuse to use this deck, which is the Beltane Oracle from Seasons of the Witch. And if you know me, you know I love Seasons of the Witch. They're like my favorite Oracle decks. So whenever I can use them, which is typically seasonally, I get really excited. I'm going to try to get this uploaded for May 1st, May Day, which corresponds with Beltane. So with Beltane, we're talking about fertility and life and health and wellness. It's a fire festival. So basically it's about, protection and celebrating life, celebrating birth and renewal and all these things. It's like the halfway point between spring and summer, right? The solstices. I don't know if that's actually true based on our calendar, but that's the typical traditional rationale behind it. So I love all things Celtic, as you might also know if you know me. Despite not really being very Celtic, I'm Welsh and English. My daughter, however, is Irish and Scottish, so we're basically anarchy in the UK over here. So I'm just going to get started, and of course then I'm going to be super annoying, and I'm probably going to break this up into individual videos as well, because that's always fun. So, Virgo, the card you have is Wildcat, okay? And this is the first card that so far gives me pause, and I'm so sorry. I chose this reading and this deck because I wanted to give positive readings instead of the last few messages I had to relay for the sign-specific readings, and I was hoping everyone would get really positive messages, and you of course get a warning card. So sorry, Virgo. If it makes you feel any better, Wildcat was also the card that Aquarius got as well, so you could be connecting to an Aquarius, God forbid. So it says, be still and tune in, for there is something afoot lurking alongside you. Now, be still. God, I'm having trouble. Be still and tune in is very much hermit energy, right? So in a way, this is kind of your natural state, and that makes me feel good. I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. That makes me feel good about this card, because that just kind of is like, well, Virgo's gonna Virgo, right? But then it says something is lurking alongside you. So I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, that freaks me out a little bit, right? Like, this could be a health issue, potentially. I should say that first and foremost, because my daughter is a Virgo, and she was with me when I was pulling cards, or she was in the vicinity anyway, and I told her about this card, and her immediate thought was something health related, which could be. I mean, Virgos are typically very health conscious and pretty tuned in to their bodies, right? So I feel like I had to sort of mention that, because that was my daughter, she's my daughter, so she's intuitive, right? She immediately thought of her health and health problems. So obviously, if you have an inkling, tune in. And if you have an inkling, see a doctor, right? I don't have to tell you this. Look into anything health related that could be lurking. That's always something that I would recommend. follow what I say, not what I do, because I'm terrible at going to the doctor. All right, so let's dive into this card a little bit in the book, because like I said, I am concerned. It is also the very last card in this deck, which feels significant for some reason. And the key word is danger. See? I don't know if you can see that. Danger. So there are forces swirling around you that have missed your eye, like a ferocious cat lurking silently in the trees. Someone or something is nearby that does not have your best intentions in mind. Wildcat has appeared in your spread to warn you that all is not as it seems. You may have felt an unease creeping along your spine, or perhaps you've picked up on a sense of danger, but you've questioned the validity of what you feel because your eyes are seeing a different picture. Trust in your instincts, as they are letting you know that something isn't right, even if you don't have proof. Be especially careful if your question is about a specific person. So yeah, if you had a specific person in mind when you entered this reading, emphasis is on that. They may be hiding something from you, and whether it's good or bad remains unseen. So be discerning with your time, your resources, and your information, only sharing what is absolutely necessary, and gathering all information before you make any further decisions, okay? And here I am coughing. Okay. So pay attention to your respiratory system, right? But anyway, I think this could be related to anything. It does not have to be your health. Obviously, it does not have to be a person. Oh my goodness. Okay. So maybe coughing, that could be some kind of indicator. Maybe you need to watch out for a person who coughs or who has a persistent cough. Maybe they have an illness and you need to avoid them. Okay, jot that down. That feels right. Okay. All right. Let's get more information for Virgo. Tell me why this Wildcat card is here for Virgo, please. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides. Thank you. Why do I keep picking up this deck upside down? That's so bizarre. I'm so weirded out by that. Okay, hold on. Another card fall on the floor. 9 of Swords, 7 of Jars. Yeah, it's like, I don't like this. Princess of Pentacles, okay. This is your energy at the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna pull more cards for you than anyone else, Virgo, because this concerns me. Some of my cards are upside down. I don't understand. Things are in disarray over here as well. One more. Or however many more we need. Thank you. The Sun. Okay, well that's good. And then 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so yeah, we have the 7 of Jars, which is the 7 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords. All right. Well, so for some of you, this could just be anxiety, right? Lurking anxiety that maybe you need to tune in and try to figure out the source of it, right? Like if you don't necessarily know where it's coming from, which I do feel like could, that could be a Virgo thing. Maybe there's something in your environment that's triggering you, a person, I don't know, an allergen. Like, I'm trying to feel out what we're talking about here. Maybe you need to do a little bit of research. As soon as I saw this woman here, she has a bunch of books and it seems like she's researching. We had the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So maybe you need to do some homework. Maybe you need to do some research if you're having some symptoms or if something just feels off. It could be some kind of environmental trigger. And I can't even think of what that could be. I mean, I guess the most obvious thing would be like carbon monoxide. Test your home. Something in your water, some kind of environmental problem perhaps. Or, I don't know, a weed, like an unknown weed, something like that. Maybe it could be making you sick. I don't know. You will know. Like, if you're not having any symptoms, right? Like, don't get confused and give yourself anxiety. If you feel fine, then maybe it's not a health problem at all. But this could also just be a person, could be a Leo, because we do have the Sun card here, and this is a cat. I mean, so could be a Leo lurking about, causing you some kind of stress, anxiety. Like, maybe this is an ongoing problem that this person is confusing you, overwhelming you. It's funny because I have a Leo moon, and my daughter, as I said, is a Virgo, and I could very well see this applying to her. Like, maybe someone's throwing so many tasks on you, too much homework, too many tasks, too many chores, and you're just overwhelmed. So, I mean, tune in to yourself and try to find coping mechanisms, right? Like the Sun. Find time to be your authentic self, to be in the sunshine, to, balance out your diet, do everything you need to keep yourself happy and healthy. And I feel like that is probably the most important message here. Go out in the sun, assuming that you can. Obviously, if you're allergic to the sun or something, don't do that. But do what fulfills you and makes you happy. Make sure that you're taking time to balance all these things out. But other than that, I do feel like if there is something confusing, if there is something like if there's a person or a situation that's confusing, causing you anxiety, I do feel like that's going to be cleared up. And how do you clear that up? Well, you tune into, like the card said, yourself, your instincts. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? Don't underestimate your intuitive, gifts. And make sure that you're happy and healthy and taken care of on a daily basis, because that itself helps you tune in to yourself, right? You can't function super well if you're not getting proper rest and, calming your mind, feeding yourself the right foods. I feel like I could go on and lecture you, Virgo. Once again, my daughter's a Virgo, so I'm going into mom mode. I'm going to hope that the messages you needed to hear came out of my mouth already, and thank you so much. I'm going to move on to Libra.